Hey everybody, video here for you today. We're going to go back to Ancient America. And this is a site that I covered, one of my first videos in my Ancient America series. But there was a little bit of a copyright issue with that video, so that video is no longer around. So I thought I'd do a replacement video today. But this is a pretty important place. Pretty impressive feature here in Ancient America. This is the Miamisburg Mound, right down here. I thought since I've made about 200 Ancient America videos since I did the video on the Miamisburg Mound, that maybe I could just do another one here, look at it with fresh eyes, point out some things that maybe I haven't seen before or mentioned before. But I'm not going to use a lot of websites. I'm just going to mainly talk here. But this obviously could be seen for miles around. And there must have been a pretty impressive city up here at one time with other works and smaller mounds. Today, see the golf course, a residential area, but I'm sure this whole area occupied an ancient city at one time. This is about 68 feet tall. This looks a lot like the Pinson Mound I showed probably about a week ago, but that is one of the more impressive structures, well preserved, stairway going up. Here's a look on street view at the Miamisburg Mound. This was up to 70 feet tall at one time, and I'm just going to try to remember as much as I know without doing too much reading here. But this could have been built up to 3,000 years ago. There's as many as 100 or so other Adena sites in the immediate vicinity, or the region, I should say. But there was excavation work done here in the late 1800s that kind of reduced the size of this. And they did find one post-construction interment in here, but they also found a log chamber down here. They found some stonework, but this appears to be an earthen mound, but made of different types of things, that is for sure. They say this mound has never been properly excavated. They did get maybe a third of the way down. But this is a very large structure for a Native American mound. And this is just like the one in Vincennes, Indiana. It's up on a perch, shaped just like this. But in Vincennes, they say that is a natural hill held sacred by the natives. I think that is a man-made mound in Vincennes because it looks just like this and other ones. Same kind of setting. But the copper artifacts, these are the people that had the copper chest plates, jewelry, ornaments from the Gulf of Mexico, and they were spread all over Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, up into New York. This was a widespread culture that lasted for many hundreds of years. One of the things I find very interesting is speculation that this was done in two different periods. And they found stonework under here, and they said it was kind of done like overlapping shingles. So some people speculate that this mound originally might have been covered in stonework. Could it have been? Well, that is speculation, but I have showed other stone mounds in Ohio. And there was about 10,000 mounds in this area. Now there's about 1,000 that still exist. That stonework was found 24 feet below the surface of the mound. Remember, this mound was 70 feet tall at one time. It's a little shorter today. But if you have any information on this mound, please leave it, because the info on this place is just kind of general. Excavations did find some things here that were interesting, but most people probably just think the dead should be left alone. But this place consisted of over 54,000 cubic meters of material. Here's a look from the top of the mound. Stonework, stairs put in here, but an impressive view, that is for sure. But they did find a chamber in here, and it seems reports of one skeleton, but it didn't seem to be associated with the chamber. It's a little confusing. Now this is just kind of a quickie today, but here's a drawing of the mound when it was discovered, covered in trees. Seems some minor excavations went on here at a couple different periods in the late 1800s, but they didn't get all the way down into this mound. You just got to wonder what is in some of these mounds that have never been properly excavated. But this mound is 877 feet in circumference, originally 70 feet high. Or that's how tall it was at its tallest construction period. Some people think this was built in periods. Some people think this might have been covered in stonework. But today, a park, golf course, houses out here. In ancient times, there must have been a pretty impressive city, earthworks, smaller mounds. You can only use your imagination to think what that might have looked like today. If you live in the area, please leave a comment. But this is one of the more impressive ancient American structures that we have. Other sites nearby, the Spring Valley, Enon Mound, the Great Mound, that is just covered in trees. I did a video on that. That is a big one. Stubbs Earthwork, Fort Ancient are nearby. Then in Ohio, just a whole bunch of sites here. That is more Ancient America replacement video. Hope you thought that was cool, and you all have a very nice day.